Hey folks, wanted to take a quick minute to discuss some of the upcoming changes that were documented in the 320 Curse Manifesto and the follow-up FAQ. Ultimately, how much were Curse on hit rings actually nerfed or buffed? The TLDR is unfortunately yes, but we can quickly talk about that here in a second. So as a baseline, let's take a look at two different Curse on hit rings, those being Flammability and Despair. Their level 1 minus resistance values are, as you can see here, and in 319 these Curse on hit rings would have 32% increased effect, or something like this. Now remember, this is what we would have against our normal enemy types, not bosses or guardians or pinnacle bosses, because those have the less hex effect multipliers. We can see those here and here. In patch 320, the increase effect from rings is being removed, and so is the hex effect reduction against bosses. There's also a rebalancing of some more powerful hexes, making their level 1 values more in line with others. Let's assume that this means it'll be roughly half of its level 20 value while at level 1. This mostly focuses on things like vulnerability and despair, so for argument's sake, let's say that the new value of a level 1 Despair gem is minus 15% chaos resistance. Curse on hit rings will have level 1 gem values across all enemy types, as you can see here. Tossing the various values into a table that we can actually read can show us the spread of negative resistance against the different enemy types. Assuming our Despair gem change is accurate, we do see a nerf to Despair effectiveness against normal enemies and mat bosses, but a buff against Guardian and Pinnacle bosses. For Flammability, we see a nerf against normal enemies, but a buff to both mat bosses and Guardian Pinnacle bosses. Depending on the type of content that you do, you could see this as a nerf, a buff, or something in between. Let me know.